Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back. In this video, we are looking at the MLB slate for Wednesday. As always, appreciate it if you guys hit the like button, subscribe if you haven't already. Before I get into the picks, though, I have to share some big news with you guys. If you don't follow me on Twitter, then you probably don't know that there was just a lineup optimizer added to the website, dfsprocess.net. We are just looking at DraftKings right now. We'll see if we can work a FanDuel optimizer in sometime in the future, but it's super easy to use. It's free for the end of the week, so if you guys want to mess around with it, you can upload your own projections down here in data upload. You can upload your own ownership projections. You can even do max exposure if you want to limit how much of a guy shows up in your lineups. You can lock players, exclude players. So very similar to the other optimizers. It's super user friendly. We will have NFL and MLB. I'm not sure about how projections for the other sports, but I'm still working on getting them down. For MLB, they're definitely going to be 100% done by NFL, but super easy to use. You can mess around with some player rules here if you want to see, once again, the max player exposure. It can do randomness if you want to just have if you want to have a bunch of small percentages of people in your lineup and just, have like a wider projection system using randomness. You can stack players here. This will be useful for definitely for baseball, even for NFL, if you want to stack like a team, especially like the Chiefs, good offensive teams. So super easy to use. You guys can mess around with it. Let me know if you guys have any questions. I'm super open to feedback, so let me know if there's something that can be improved. But like I said, still working on getting my projections done. I will see if I will have ownership done as well, but you guys can mess around with it for the end of the week. And then starting August 1st, it will go it's part of like a subscription, but will be super affordable, and I think you guys will like it. But going back to the DraftKings plays, looking at this main slate here, looking at the pitching options and the totals here, Zach Wheeler looks like one of the best options. He's facing off against the Nationals team. Wheeler's been super consistent for the Phillies all season. He's been their best pitcher. Overall, he has 160 strikeouts and just over 132 innings. Doesn't give very many home runs. He goes super deep into games. He's gone 7 a bunch of times. He has had a couple of 8, 9 inning games out of him this year. But you're expecting him to throw well over 100 pitches. He's done that 111, 114. So he's not going to get pulled early like some of these guys do. So very good confidence in Zach Wheeler today at home. You could look to Lucas Giolito. I think he makes sense as a tournament option. He's been a little bit inconsistent this year compared to last year, but he still gives you a ton of upside. We saw him put up 39 against Houston. He's put up 38 against Baltimore. Not that super impressive as that team isn't great offensively, but another guy that will go 90 to 100 plus pitches. And this Royals team has been hot recently, but I think you could look to him if you wanted to. And the Walker Buehler could be super popular today. I think I kind of like the upside of Zach Wheeler a little bit more, just because the Giants have been pretty good this year. But I think you can't really go wrong with Buehler or Zach Wheeler as your favorites. Tyler Mahle is one that I'm not really interested in. He's facing off against the Cubs in Wrigley. They have like a 5 total today, so I'm definitely looking at the other pitchers instead. Go ahead and plug in Zach Wheeler. Definitely not going to pay 95 for Madison Bumgarner. McGill has been pitching very solid for the Mets. He is one guy that might not go super deep into games. We saw him just throw 78 last time. Hasn't topped more than 93 pitches. So I think I might just try to spend up a little bit more for Zach Wheeler. And then for my SP2, I only have a few options that look somewhat appealing down here. I like Andrew Heaney. He's facing off against the Rockies team that has put up a lot of runs last night, but overall they've been awful on the road. Heaney has been bad with the earned runs given up this year, but he still manages to get a bunch of strikeouts, which is awesome for just DFS purposes. He has 105 Ks in 88 innings. He's another guy that if he's pitching well, they'll let him throw 100 pitches. And overall, even though they put up a bunch of runs yesterday, I don't think the Rockies will be able to do that again. 2 games in a row. I have Heaney and Wheeler as a nice combination that allows you to pay out for some bats. So speaking of stacks and bats here, my favorite couple of stacks are the White Sox facing off against the lefty and Chris Bubic. Overall, the White Sox, going back to last year and even the year prior, they've absolutely smashed left-handed pitching. Tim Anderson, now that they got Eloy Jimenez back, and he had a bomb last night, so he's only $2,800. I go right back to Eloy Jimenez, Tim Anderson. Abreu make for a nice stack. You can throw in Moncada as well. The Angels in a great spot against Chichi Gonzalez, who I still don't understand why they give him, why he's still getting every start every 5 days. He shouldn't really be in the rotation. I hope the Rockies would have some younger pitcher that they want to get a look at, but Chichi Gonzalez just hasn't done anything at all. So over the past few years, he's still getting hammered with the home runs. He gives up a ton of, not a ton of walks, but gives up a ton of home runs. Doesn't get very many strikeouts, only 53 in 90 innings. He has given up a 300-plus batting average. Even though this Angels lineup is still depleted with injuries to Mike Trout and Anthony Rendon, still can look to guys like Ohtani, Justin Upton, maybe Walsh if he's in the lineup today. Got some cheap guys also if you need some savings. So I have to like the Angels, have to like the White Sox, and then I like the Red Sox against the lefty. This lineup is very powerful against lefties. JD Martinez, Renfroe, Kike Hernandez, Bogarts look like a great stack. And then you can mix and match some of these one-off plays. Like on the Phillies side, you have McCutchen's been great. He's super affordable at $3,800. Segura, you can throw in like Tyler Naquin on the red side, maybe Aquino. But going back to DraftKings, first base, I'm going to go with a value play here, and that is Rowdy Tellez. He's only $2,300. The Brewers have a decent total today, about like 4.9, so close to 5. Tellez has been on a tear recently, so I hope that he can continue to ride that hot streak. Over his last 10 games, he's belted 3 bombs. Batting average is over 400, 864 slugging. A good spot for him to hopefully continue to stay hot. He's going to get at least 4, possibly 5 at-bats if the stack does go off. So can't really go wrong with Tellez as a value play. $2,300 will allow you to pay up for Wheeler. And then it'll allow you to pay up for a guy like Ohtani in the outfield, which is something I want to do. He's $6,400. Hit another home run yesterday. Nobody's surprised with him and his power. Super impressive all year, not only pitching, but hitting the ball really well. And Gonzalez just doesn't strike people out, so Ohtani should be able to put the ball in play against Chichi Gonzalez and all of the at-bats. We know he has the power to go yard multiple times. So I love Ohtani, I love Tellez. At shortstop, I love Tim Anderson just because he's facing off against a lefty, and Anderson is amazing against lefties. So overall, he's having another great year, 303. He's missed some time with injury, but 9 home runs, 15 stolen bases, hits for a great average. He gets on base, steals bases. A lot to like with Tim Anderson, especially batting leadoff against a pretty poor lefty. And last but not least, in the outfield spot, go ahead and plug in Eloy Jimenez. Once again, $2,800, just too affordable. $2,500 again yesterday. Hit a home run, 3-run bomb out of him. Just way too cheap still at $2,800 against a lefty. He was great against lefties last year. And I think it's a matter of time before his price tag jumps up. So continue to play Eloy Jimenez at this discounted salary. And that's about it for the DraftKings side. Let's go over to FanDuel. So over on FanDuel here, going with Andrew Heaney as my pitcher. I think you could go with Wheeler if you wanted to, or go with another one of those top-end guys. But for me, I just like the savings on Andrew Heaney. I think he's going to have a good game against the Rockies. Even though he's been a little bit inconsistent this year, $7,600 price tag. It's pretty nice on him. You could also go down to Tyler Mahle. Super expensive on DraftKings, very nicely priced at $73 on FanDuel. But just like the low total that the Rockies have, targeting Heaney against them. And then allow you to pay up for whatever bats you want. Really like the White Sox and the Angels stack on FanDuel, especially because you don't have the Boston game to target. So give me Abreu. We know how well he does against lefties. Tim Anderson also mashes lefties, and then getting Fletcher and Ohtani. Fletcher bats leadoff. Should be able to get on base, maybe get some runs scored if this lineup does go off today and the stack does go off. So overall, that is it for the video. Thank you for watching. Best of luck, and I'll see you all next time.